Okay, so picture this, right? A temple, grand, majestic. But every time it gets built, the ocean comes in, washes it away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this doesn't happen just once.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
like over and over, the waves crashing down, the whole cycle starting again.
That's wild. Has to be symbolic, right?
That's exactly what we're diving into today. The Jagannath temple, how it came to be, all the stories and layers underneath.
And the source material. Sounds intriguing already.
We're talking excerpts, snippets really, from the Anurag Sagar.
Ah, okay, I see.
Big deal in Indian spirituality, all about Kabir, this mystic, his poems, teachings, the whole thing.
Right. Teachings woven into the story itself, not just straight history then.
Exactly. Like, think about it. We're piecing together a puzzle, some pieces missing, makes it even more interesting, you know?
Definitely adds to the mystery.
So to kick things off, we've got this King Indradyumna. Dreamt he had to build this awesome temple, so he goes for it, right?
Makes sense so far.
But and this is key, the ocean keeps wrecking it. Not once, not twice, 6x times. What's with that, you know? I mean, come on.
6 times, wow. That's persistence, I guess? Or maybe, just maybe.
What is it?
It's got to be about more than just bricks and mortar, right? That much destruction got to represent something bigger, don't you think?
Okay, I'm with you. So what's the deeper meaning?
I'm thinking obstacles. Like, we all face them, those things that keep tripping us up no matter how hard we try. But Indradyumna, he doesn't give up, does he?
Nope. Keeps going back, rebuilding.
Right. So it's pointing to dedication, yeah, but also maybe a deeper purpose, something beyond just fulfilling a dream.
And speaking of deeper purpose, enter Kabir. Now, hold on to your hats, folks, because this is where it gets really interesting.
Kabir. Okay, fill me in. Who's this guy?
All right, so imagine like 15th century, this mystic Kabir, super influential, poems, teachings, challenged a lot of the norms back then, you know.
Right. I'm getting a sense of unconventional thinker.
That's him. And get this, he pops up right as the king is, like at his wit's end with this whole ocean temple situation. Not your average plot twist.
Definitely not. So what's the significance? Why is Kabir showing up such a big deal?
Well, think about it. This guy, Kabir, he was all about seeing past the surface, finding unity in everything, challenging those rigid structures,
Yeah,
you know.
right, breaking down barriers. So him showing up here, gotta mean the temple's about more than just like a building project.
Exactly. It's about tapping into something bigger, a truth that goes beyond all the usual labels.
Okay, I'm hooked. So what happens next? Kabir strolls up to the ocean and...
Well, get this right. The ocean, the one that's been causing all this chaos, it basically freaks out in a good way.
No way, seriously.
Yeah. Begging for forgiveness, saying it gets it now, understands Kabir's secret.
Secret. Okay, now you've got my attention. What's this all about? What's the big secret?
Well, the text doesn't spell it out, which I think is kind of the point, you know? It's like it wants us to think about it. But if we consider Kabir and what he was all about, it's not so much a literal secret, but more like a deep understanding. Like he just got it, the interconnectedness of everything and the ocean, it recognized that.
Wow, that is powerful. So it's suggesting that there's this higher truth, something beyond just the physical world that even nature itself has to respect.
Right. And this truth, this secret, it's not something you can just grab. It's about realizing, internalizing.
Okay, I'm starting to see it.
And get this. Later on, a priest walks into that very same temple. And as he's standing there, every single idol, every last one, transforms right before his eyes into Kabir.
Whoa, hold on. Did you say every idol?
Every single one. Can you imagine walking into a temple and seeing that? What would that even mean?
It's a wow, that's a powerful image. It's like, it's saying something about unity, right? Like Kabir seeing beyond the surface differences, recognizing the divine spark in everyone and everything.
It's like the universe is trying to make a point, right? This isn't just about one guy, Kabir. It's bigger than that. It's about this underlying truth that's everywhere, if we can just open our eyes to see it.
That's incredible. So we've got this powerful message of unity. What happens next?
Well, just as we're processing this incredible event, a new character pops up, Dharamdas.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like totally captivated by Kabir and his wisdom, you know?
Oh, interesting. So like a student drawn to a master.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that dynamic, the seeker and the teacher, it pops up all over the place, right?
Definitely. It's this universal human thing, wanting to connect with something larger than ourselves, to learn from those who seem to have found a path.
And Kabir, being the insightful dude he is, agrees to share his wisdom. But just as this exchange is about to happen, the story takes another turn out of nowhere. There's this mention of a city completely submerged.
A submerged city. Okay, that's a new one. What city are we talking about?
It's not just any city, it's Dwarka. You know, that legendary place steeped in Hindu mythology.
Dwarka. Wow. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Give me some context here. Why is Dwarka such a big deal?
So Dwarka, it's not just some random city, right? It's the city, at least according to legend, ruled by Krishna, major deity in Hinduism.
Right, familiar with Krishna.
So Dwarka, it represents this ideal time, like back when humans and the divine were chilling together, everything in harmony, the good old days.
Right, like a golden age lost to time.
Exactly. So we've got this sacred temple tested by the sea, then Kabir shows up, changes the game, and now bam, a flooded city. And not just any city, but Dwarka.
I'm with you. It's a lot to unpack, but it feels connected somehow, right?
It's like the stories weaving together these different threads, mythology, history, spiritual teachings. It's all building towards something.
It's like each piece, the temple, Kabir, and now Dwarka, they're all symbols pointing towards something deeper, some greater truth. And that flooded city, that feels significant, like it might hold a key to understanding everything else.
So we've got Dwarka, this mythical city swallowed by the ocean. Makes you think, doesn't it? Like, what's the point of it all?
Well, what if I told you that Dwarka might not be entirely mythical after all?
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Oh yeah, it gets even wilder. Turns out there have been actual ruins found off the coast of India. They think it could be Dwarka.
Get out. So it's a real place. I mean, it actually existed.
Seems that way. And guess what? The source material even talks about this book, The Lost City of Dwarka, by a Dr. S.R. Rao.
Okay, now that's just too much of a coincidence. So they're saying this guy, Dr. Rao, he actually found this legendary city.
He led the research, the dives, the whole thing, documented it all. I mean, it's pretty convincing stuff.
This is blowing my mind right now. Okay, so we had this mythical city swallowed by the sea, and now we're finding out it might have actually been real. That changes things.
Totally. And if you think about all that talk about transformation, about seeing things in a new light, maybe Dwarka's more than just a sunken city.
I see what you're getting at. It's like a metaphor or something, right?
Exactly. What if it represents those things we lose in our own lives, the things we think are gone forever, but then, through some twist of fate, we find them again.
And not just find them, but they've changed, right? Like, they're not the same as we remember them, but that's kind of the point.
Right. Like, we're not the same either. We've grown, learned new things. So rediscovering something lost, it's like seeing a part of yourself you thought was gone.
Wow, that's deep. It's like how finding Dwarka taught us something new about the past, even though it was always there, just hidden beneath the surface.
Exactly. It's about digging deeper, being open to new interpretations, even when it comes to our own stories,
You know, it makes me think back to that whole idol transformation thing in the temple. The priest seeing Kabir everywhere he looked.
Oh, yeah. I see where you're going with this.
Because isn't that kind of similar? Like, the truth was always there, right in front of him, but he had to shift his perspective to see it.
Totally. Both situations, the priest and then this whole Dwarka thing, they challenge what we think we know, force us to reconsider our assumptions.
So it's like, whether it's a hidden city or a hidden truth, sometimes you got to look beneath the surface to really get it.
Exactly. And I think that's a huge part of what makes these stories so powerful, so relevant even now. They remind us there's always more to discover, always another layer to uncover.
It's like an open invitation to keep questioning, to keep exploring both the world out there and the world within ourselves.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And who knows what we might find when we do.
It's like this whole idea of things getting lost, then found again. The temple, Dwarka, it keeps coming up.
Yeah, and it makes you think, doesn't it, about how we approach our own lives, our own search for, meaning, understanding.
Right, like we think we know something, then boom, something comes along, shakes things up.
Exactly. It's like the universe is saying, hey, you don't know everything. Keeps us humble, right?
Totally. And just like finding those ruins changed how we think about Dwarka. Maybe going on our own deep dives can change how we see ourselves, even the world around us.
It's about being open to new information, new interpretations.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm thinking about the Jagannath temple, all its twists and turns, the symbolism, the legends. It's a lot.
It really is. And we've only just scratched the surface, haven't we?
That's the thing about these ancient stories, right? They're like bottomless wells of wisdom, always something more to discover.
Definitely. And the more we dig, the more we realize how much we don't know.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. And I think that's a good thing. It's like Kabir's secret, always pushing us to look deeper, to question, to keep searching.
Exactly. Because maybe, just maybe, that's where the real treasure lies, in the journey itself.